You know, it's changed a lot. Things change over time. Everybody wants to take a snapshot of the way they are right now, and that's not the way the world works. You know, it's changing all the time. Like elk are moving in here a bit now, and you know, there used to be elk here years and years ago. There was no moose. You know, the first moose seen here was like 1910, 1913 was the first moose ever seen, you know, in the caribou. And now there's not as many moose, but the elk are starting to move back. There used to be thousands of elk, you know, so things change over time, you know, and you know, you can't change that. Right. You know, you just got to let it go the way it goes. I bought my first guide area here from Bill Reed in 1980. You know, I mean, at that time, everything was wide open, you know, and there was no LEH, you know, limited entry hunting. There was, you know, you just went in a tag and hunted whatever you wanted to hunt, sort of a deal. I've bought, well, 12 guide areas since to make the one I have, you know, which is quite a large one now. Because in them days, you know, I mean, there wasn't all the roads there is now, you know, so everything was by horseback or whatever, so, you know, you had to ride everywhere, so, you know, you didn't need a big guide territory, you know, whereas now, I mean, there's roads everywhere. It's changed a lot. The game isn't what there used to be. We used to go into the mountains, it'd be nothing to see 15, 20, 30 bucks a day, you know. Now, you don't even see a deer up there. I mean, there's nothing, you know, and the fields down here be nothing in the spring, you know, when they're freshening up to see a couple 100, 300 deer in the fields, and now, you know, it's actually looked pretty good this year. I've seen 10 today. You know, and I'm a guide outfitter primarily, and then trapper in the wintertime. We have a bit of a ranch here as well that my son and daughter-in-law basically run, you know, and then with a couple 100 head of cows. And then we just take life easy. Can't complain about it too much when you look at this view and stuff like that, you know, that you got to wake up to every morning. And it's a good community, you know, the people are good here. Well, Horsefly was, you know, it was a gold rush town. I mean, it was originally called Harper's Camp, actually, and then got changed to Horsefly somewhere in the mix. I guess the horseflies were pretty bad. Yeah. Fairly tight community, you know. I mean, you know, everybody gets along pretty much. You know, I mean, you always have your little turfs here and there, but you know, for the most part, everybody gets along pretty good, and everybody sort of looks after each other's back, sort of a deal. You know, I mean, see a problem, you know, you might call somebody up and say, hey, you know, your horses are out, or you know, your cows are out on the road here, or whatever. You know, you just get along with everybody. Most places out here where you lose power a lot, most people are set up with generators and stuff. I mean, we turn on our generators about 6 times a year because you lose power, you know. Just a week and a half ago here, we had the last big windstorm anyhow, we had a outage. I turn off the big stuff, you know, like I'll turn off the hot water tank, and I turn off the, you know, we got in-floor heating, which is electric, and I turn that off, you know, but our fireplaces keep the place warm enough. All winter long I trap and stuff, and I like the winters. We sell our furs in the auctions usually, or a private buyer, you know, there's some buyers too. Most of your buyers are actually from China, Russia are the 2 biggest buyers. Greece, Turkey, Korea, you know, those places are the biggest buyers, you know, of fur. But it's always been a fight with the anti-trappers. But you know, everything dies. There's only 3 ways that things die naturally, and none of them are old age. It's rather starvation, disease, or predation. It's the only 3 ways things die, you know, and none of them are very nice. I've been chased the odd time, you know, a couple times by grizzly bears. Mostly it's when I'm going in after a wounded black bear or something that a hunter's maybe wounded that I've gone after, that, you know, they'll attack you sometimes. And 99% of the time it's not going to be a problem, you know, but I mean, it can be a problem. The rule of thumb is you play dead for a grizzly bear, you know, cover your neck and roll up in a ball and play dead, and let him roll you around for a while and chew on you a bit, and he'll leave you. But a black bear, if he's going to attack you, he's going to eat you. I had one grab me one time that a hunter had wounded, and thumped him between the ears with the butt of my rifle because he was too close to shoot. But he finally let me go and ran. But
did he grab your leg or just?
Yeah, he grabbed me by the legs there, and about the same time I come down with the butt of my rifle and beamed him right between the ears, and then he finally shook and took off, and then I slowed him down. But
wow, that must have been quite a rush.
It does give you a rush. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. The grizzly bear chased me one time there, and I mean, luckily I had my car door open, and I mean, he was just roaring and just frickin' right on my butt, and Christ, I just jumped in the truck, luckily the door, and slammed the door in his face, and turned around and went, man, I tell you, if he wasn't slipping in my shit, he probably would have caught me.
Oh, man. I gotta remember that one.
I think there's quite a few younger people moving into the country, which is nice to see in the ranching and stuff like that. I mean, there's not a whole big population change over the time. It's a little out of the way for older people, so as they get older, they want to get a little closer to the hospital. We go to the shows for our business every year, like, Portland, Seattle, Las Vegas, Nashville now, stuff like that. And, like my wife just hates it. She would sooner never leave this place. And I mean, I don't like going to the cities neither. I mean, you just don't like to go to the cities. I mean, downtown Vancouver, been 20 years since I've been downtown Vancouver. It's so expensive on the lower mainland, and then it was the Okanagan. Now it's so expensive. Everybody, and it's just moving north, eh? And I'm a little worried that it's going to get to be too many people. That point right down there of trees there in the valley there, there's 50 acres there, and we kind of like our view here, eh? And that 50 acres came for sale. And I figured, oh man, the only place to build on that 50 acres was right there on that point. So we bought it. So we're worried that somebody's going to build a damn house there and we're going to have to look at it.
It doesn't really matter if I'm traveling abroad or in my own backyard. It's always a treat getting to meet the locals and share them with you. And like most places, horsefly ended up keeping us a little bit longer than intended, but I certainly can't complain about an extra couple days in a beautiful place like this. We scored a great spot right on the banks of the Horsefly River to catch up on some editing, but it's officially time to point our compass north and start burning some fuel.
I'm just a house of stones. Somebody hold me steady. This doesn't feel like home. These walls are getting heavy. I try, see the world through your eyes, but all you hold knows it tonight. I'm on the other side. My mind is trying to find paradise, but all you hold knows it tonight. I'm on the other side. I'm just a house of stones. Somebody hold me steady. This doesn't feel like home. These walls are getting heavy.
One quick stop here so that I can tell you a story about an interesting location. Right here is a property that's not looking so good, but it was once owned by a gentleman that I've been told really appreciates his privacy. So he came out here, bought this chunk of land, and started a formidable firearms collection. property goes way back through there, and there's all kinds of outbuildings and old vehicles and all kinds of stuff left back there. And in this field behind the rig is a firewood pile that has been completely hollowed out on the back. So if anyone's on the property, he used to go and hide back in there and you could follow him with a rifle. Years ago, I guess he found himself on the losing side of a tussle with a grizzly bear, and when the authorities found him, there was nothing left but some chunks of skull and a satchel with a pistol in it. And it's basically sat ever since. But just to clarify, it has been inherited by family members, so it's currently still private property. And I don't think they want visitors any more than the last guy, so let's all be respectful and leave him be. I had to stop and tell you the story. Here we go! We're fueled up, gassed up, oiled up, and coffeeed up, ready to head northbound. I feel like I've been saying it for weeks, but we're officially on the road, and it feels great. Typically I trickle north, and it takes me a week or so to get to Prince Rupert, but this year we're hammered down straight to Prince Rupert. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 days. If you're heading north to the Arctic Circle, be it Alaska or Canada, your routes are pretty limited. From Prince George, you can continue north towards Dawson Creek and the Alaska Highway, also known as the Alcan, or you can head west towards the less popular, but to me preferable, Cassiar Highway. As well, the western route offers us the option to get out on the ocean and hopefully fill the new freezer. Last night we found ourselves a beautiful little spot just east of Burns Lake, BC, and today we can finish our push to the Pacific.
Wash the ashes from my hands. Can we start something new again? 'Cause I don't wanna know who I've been. I just wanna know who you are. See the stars and how they say they stay still when everything else spins. Can I know the way of their heart? Can I know the way of their heart? So slow me down. Walk me through your river. Walk me through your river to calm me down. I'm safe and sound, but I don't even know it. I don't even know it. So calm me gone numb. The rumble in our hearts has gone numb. So call me down to you. So call me down to you.
Quick little stop at Moricetown so I can tell you a couple stories, one of which being the most underappreciated joke I've ever cracked on Destination Adventure. Me and my good buddy Kurt stopped here years ago on the way to Kitsault. It was early in the morning, and we looked over the bridge and there was a man laying face down right there. Of course we went and checked on him, and he was just very inebriated. But I had cracked a joke about it and then just cut to music, and people did not appreciate that joke. But it's a beautiful spot here. And on the way home, we parked over there and I was filming a time lapse, and a gentleman was running across the top, and then he slipped and fell and slid all the way down the bank. So, long story short, there's some strange things happening in Moricetown, but it is a beautiful place to stop. So Moricetown is in fact a First Nations reserve, and would you believe I just discovered some ancient First Nations petroglyphs? Yep, Valerie and Mitchell. They were here thousands of years ago. Oh, would you take a look at this? Ancient footprint, definitely pre-glaciation. What we got over here is just your classic case of salmon ladder. Salmon these days are so lazy, can't even get up the rapids. It is a beautiful spot, but that's the tour. Moricetown. Gonna make some lunch and mosey out of here.
Come on, boys, we'll see where this road gives up. Blacktop and gasoline, it won't be enough.
I love traveling in the rig, and I love traveling slowly, but there's no getting around the fact that it takes forever to get anywhere. Needless to say, we have not made it to Prince Rupert, but we have certainly made it to a lower elevation because the boat's flat. We are at the Exchamsiks River, an area of which I am mildly familiar, and an area that is exceptionally beautiful. I think it's a nice opportunity to get the boat out, get it aired up, and do a bit of sightseeing, because this whole area is very, very nice. My only concern is the depth of the river because of the drought, but I think it should be fine. I've been up this river once before in this boat with the prop, and once before in a jet boat. And I know we're gonna be a little bit limited as to how far we can get with depth, but we're really just going out looking for some beautiful views, and we're already in the midst of it. So I think it's gonna be a pretty good day. navigating the log maze. I hope we can get through here. This might be as far as we can get already. I gotta just fix that thing properly.
Girl?
Come here! Arigato! First portage. Come on. How are you doing?
Good.
Good?
Nice cruising.
Well, yeah, I want to try and get out and around. Wow, what a nightmare location. Well, it's a beautiful view from here, but I think we've hit the end of the line. This whole shelf up ahead of us here is all quite shallow. A bunch of trees stuck in there. I'd hate to break a shear pin on the prop and then come floating down through the trees. There we go. Well, I had really envisioned the end of this video as a glorious run way up the river. I think we made it less than 2 kilometers. But whilst we enjoy a very Japanese lunch, I'll let you guys enjoy some beautiful views. If there's anything that's going to attract a big grizzly bear, it's a tuna mayonnaise rice ball. A little bit of grizzly bait. Hey, bear! Get out of here, you friggin' bear! You gotta let him know you're around. Just starting to rain. Perfect time to pack up and mosey back to camp. Made it back to camp safe and sound, and next week we'll finally be coastal, getting into double limits of ocean critters for the freezer. I can just feel it. Thanks for enjoying another episode of Destination Adventure, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.